Hello friends, in this video we will see how to set up different packages using Cygwin, and then we will see how we can improve our uh, productivity using Cygwin instead of using Putty and WinSCP and FileZilla. If you have any questions setting up Cygwin on your Windows, go to my previous video which would have been uploaded by now, and you can see the steps of how to set up Cygwin on your Windows laptop. So the most there are you can run almost all Linux commands using Cygwin, like find, ls, and many more. So you can, if you want, you can actually write your scripts and execute those scripts using Cygwin on your Windows itself. Uh, on top of that, you frequently connect to remote hosts. Typically, to connect from your Windows to Linux or Unix hosts, you will use either Putty or there are Secure Shell. There are many other SSH-based tools, and also if that one will facilitate you to connect. But if you want to troubleshoot certain issues like Telnet, ping, and all those things, you have to go to the DOS prompt to run those commands. Whereas Cygwin provides a uniform environment to try all these things. So you can ping the host, whichever you want. In this case, let me ping one of my servers, and you can telnet whether my SSH port is active on that, and telnet is not available. So some packages might not be available out of the box. For that, what we have to do is we have to install the packages. Also, we might want to SSH, and SSH is also not available on this. So for this have to be installed. So most of the packages might not be out of the box of Cygwin, which are installed as part of the default, and we have to add them to the existing environment. So in our previous video, we have seen how to download Cygwin, and we have installed over the internet. And when we actually download, it has created this base installation tool called setup x86-64, and you can double click it going to your downloads if you do not move it to anywhere else, and then it will open up the installer like this. And as we haven't downloaded everything earlier, we have to install new packages from the internet. So you have to leave the default one instead of selecting the other two. Click on next, and click on next, click on next, click on next. So it is showing up the mirrors. You can choose the mirrors, and then it will go to the base setup again to get all the packages that needs to be installed. It will not take long time. It just have to download 1 megabyte of file, so it might take a minute to download this. So instead of pausing, we will just wait for that 1 minute, and then we will look at the packages, and we will determine what needs to be set up, and we will set it up. So as of now, I want Telnet and SSH, and we will see how to set those up. And if you want to set up other tools, you can follow the same process, and you can set up whatever tool you want. So as we proceed, this is a new laptop, and I'm setting up all these things on my new laptop. And as and when I come across the requirement of installing a new package for Cygwin, I will record a video for you, and I will upload as part of the playlist for Microsoft Windows for IT professionals. Okay, we are almost there, 83% done. Few more seconds, 90, 96. Now you see all the packages. So we need SSH, so it provides a very good search bar on top, and you can search for SSH, and it will narrow down. Typically you don't need to you don't need to worry the debug package. It's probably for advanced users of Cygwin or advanced developers for Cygwin. For us, we just to set up SSH, we just need open SSH, and you can click on this package, and it is automatically selected. And also we need Telnet. So from all these packages, so far we have only chosen open SSH, and you can see this. What is this? It's bin. I don't know what does that mean. And okay, bin means it's just executable, and if you, as a developer, if you want to enhance it and if you want the source code, you can even download the source, and I don't want the source code for this. And also we want Telnet. Oh, Telnet is not available. Okay, so it's only SSH. We will see how to set up Telnet later then. For now we will set up SSH. Click on next. Let me zoom out. It will take just a minute because we are only installing one package, and you can click on finish. Now you can type SSH. Okay, and now what we can do is we can actually use our SSH command to connect to my previous host, and it is asking for the password, and now I am in the remote host. So if you are a developer or a tester or a production support guy, and if you want to do something on the remote host, you can do it from Cygwin. Okay, and also you can I have already shown you the ping, and now in most of the cases, if you can set up passwordless login, you need not remember all the passwords, and you can automate a lot of stuff. I will show you that in a moment. So um, uh, so for that, to enable the passwordless login, we have to run SSH keygen command in any Linux environment, and Cygwin is a Linux emulator, and Cygwin also supports SSH keygen. So we will be running SSH keygen command here, and it will ask for the file location and all. You can just ignore, and there seems to be already a file, so I'm just overriding it. And you just take all the default ones when you are doing for the first time, and then when you run the SSH keygen, we are under the home directory by default. Whenever you log into you launch Cygwin, you will end up in home directory, so you can run the pwd command to confirm this is the home directory. And then there will be a hidden directory. If you run ls-ltr or ls, you won't see anything, but if you run ls-a, you will see a lot of hidden files. And .ssh hidden files are directories. .ssh, if you run ls-ltr, altr for hidden files, .ssh is a hidden directory which will be created when you run the SSH keygen, and you can go there, and again you can run ls-ltr or ls-altr, and you typically see these two files, id_rsa and id_rsa.pub. So you have to ship it to the target server where you want to do the passwordless login, and you have to take certain actions over there, and then you will be able to do the passwordless login. We will see how it works. So for that we have to ship this public .pub extension file to the remote server. Typically, if you are on Windows and if you have to copy any files, you use WinSCP or FileZilla or any other secure shell copy tools. But if you use Cygwin, you can ignore that one also. You can just use scp command to copy the files, and it can give you a lot more flexibility to automate a lot of stuff. And in future, I will create a top 10 commands or top commands in Linux to increase the productivity. That will be a different playlist altogether, and you will see how you can leverage Cygwin to increase your day-to-day productivity by automating a lot of stuff. And I will even share the code and scripts with you. Okay, for now, we want to do the copy. So instead of using WinSCP or FileZilla, I am using SCP from Cygwin, which will come as part of SSH itself, Open SSH itself. And I'm copying this file id_rsa.pub, and I'm trying to copy it to the remote location. So I have to give the remote location user at the rate of physical IP or the alias. This is the alias, so I'm using the alias, and then I want to copy it to the to its home directory in the remote host. So tilde represents home in Linux. So and then I can give a different name. If I don't want to give any different name, I can just use tilde/dot, but I want to give a different name. This is Durga Windows 8.pub, and then it will ask you for the password. I am giving the password, and now it is copied. Now I can do SSH again. You can hit up arrow to go back, and because there are too many commands, if you want to search, there are multiple ways to search. So you can run history grep SSH, because we have already done SSH in the previously, so it will filter out all the SSH, and in this case I want to SSH to this one. So I can just copy. To copy you have to use control insert, and to paste you have to shift insert. Control C, control V does not work. Okay, now I am again on the remote host, and I can do ls-ltr, and I can see the durga_windows8.pub. So it has asked me the password when I did the SCP and also when I did the SSH. Now what I have to do is, so even here there should be a .ssh directory. So I have to go into that, and then I have to copy the contents of this durga_windows8.pub to authorized keys, so that I can do the passwordless login. So we have the Durga Windows under home directory, which is represented by tilde, and then you can start typing and then hit tab, and if there is no conflict with the file names, it will expand it automatically, so you need not type the entire file name. And then you have to append to authorized keys. So we are already in the necessary directory, so we need not give the full path. Instead we will be using the relative path, and I just type AU and hit tab, and it fills the authorized keys. Hit enter. Now the entry is appended, so this two greater than symbols will represent append, and it will append the contents in the authorized keys. Okay, so now the necessary setup is done. I can exit. Now I came back to my Windows laptop on my Cygwin, and now I can actually run the SSH again, and we are already in, so it did not ask the password. Okay, so that is how you can actually set up SSH packages and also set up password login using Cygwin. And now if I want to copy a file from this to that using SCP, even then it will not ask the password. So over time you will end up saving a lot of time and effort, and it will increase your productivity if you get familiar with Cygwin and use Cygwin as much as possible, instead of hovering between DOS prompt, PuTTY, WinSCP or FileZilla, etc. So that's it for today, and before closing it, let's see if there is any way to get the Telnet package. So you can, what I'm trying to do is I'm going to Google, and I'm zooming in, and Telnet So let me Cygwin package. So we can search for it, and let's zoom out. So we need to download inet utils package. So again, you can go to setup, click yes, click next, install from internet, next, 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 next. It will take a minute. Let me pause this time so that you don't waste your time. So now again we got the search bar. Let me zoom in, and you can type inet utils, and then you can expand it. And let's see what they are. So we just need a common networking client. We don't need the server. So you just select this one, and then next. Let me zoom out. So we are not, let me go back again and show. Here we, under net, we are only setting up inet utilities client. Click next and click next. This is also a single package, so it will not take long time to install. So while it is installing, you need to remember that not all Linux commands might work. So one of the example, one of the very important command that might not work is clear and view. I tried searching for the package in the past, but it didn't. I was not successful, and I don't know the proper reason why those commands does not work. Now it is done. Now you can actually do the telnet. Okay, and as you are, if you are familiar with telnet command, if you are not able to SSH to a remote host, what you have to do is you have to give the IP name, IP address, and then port number. SSH port is 22, so you can see, you can type it like this, and then it will tell you whether it is working or not, and then you can type exit. So now as part of this video, we set up SSH, we set up telnet, and also we have set up passwordless login between our PC into the remote host using Cygwin. And using these tools, you need not worry about DOS prompt to ping a remote host or telnet to validate whether it is working or not. And then you don't need to use putty to connect remotely using a password. And you don't need to worry about WinSCP or other secure copy tools. Instead, you can use one product called Cygwin to take care of all these different activities. And on top of that, you can automate quite a lot, and you can you can increase your productivity, and you can reduce the time taken for several tasks. I hope you are enjoying the playlist, and we will see later.